Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. So we are on we're on Unit 1, Lesson 8 in Phonics today. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay. All right, here we go. So we are on Lesson 11 in Unit 1. Our learning targets for today are: I can practice my new spelling words, I can read tricky words and double letter spellings, and I can partner read the story The Hot Dog. So starting this week, you will have a list of spelling words to practice and learn. The spelling words are only going to be using the spellings that you know that we have gone over so far. So you can segment and blend each word. But there will also be one tricky word each week. Remember, a tricky word are words that do not follow the rules. So their spellings must be memorized. So let's review each spelling word one at a time, okay? You're going to repeat the word after me. Right? So the first word is bandit. Bandit. Shelf. Shelf. Sprang. Sprang. Munch. Munch. Picnic. Picnic. Think. Think. Wish. Wish. Drift. Drift. Box. Box. And our tricky word for this week is she. She. All right, so we are going to take a look at the letter that you're going to have in your Google Classroom today. It explains some activities that you can do to practice your spelling words at home. Let's go back to, so this is your list of spelling words, the words that we just went over: bandit, shelf, sprang, munch, picnic, think, wish, drift, box, and she. And here is the parent letter that you are going to take home, or you're not going to take home, you are home, but you're going to have your parents read tonight, okay? It says, "Dear family member, each week your child will receive a new list of spelling words. The purpose of having weekly spelling words is to help students become strong spellers and allow them to practice at home the skills learned during foundational skills instruction. Your child will receive the spelling words at the beginning of the week and will be assessed on the words at the end of the week. The spelling words come from stories your child reads in class. By reading the stories and practicing the spelling words at home each night, your child should be well prepared for the spelling test on Friday. There are 10 words each week. The words cover only the spellings that have been reviewed and taught in class, meaning your child will only work with and be tested on familiar spellings. Spelling word number 10 is a tricky word and is marked in a special way. A tricky word does not follow the expected spelling rules. This means tricky words cannot be reliably sounded out and spelled, so its spelling must be memorized. Tricky words are also taught and reviewed in class. I encourage you to work with your child each night to review the spelling words for 5 to 10 minutes. The activities can be fun and need to involve having your child write the word. Here are a few activity ideas. Say a sentence with the spelling word, but leave the spelling word out. For example, you might say, "The blank broke into my house." Your child should guess the word bandit and then write the word. Create spelling word flashcards. After reading the word on a flashcard, your child can turn over the card and write the word from memory on the back. Have a spelling bee at home, asking your child to both spell the words to you orally and to write them. Ask your child to write each word in a short sentence or write a story with the words. Act or draw a picture of the words. Have your child guess the word and then write it down. Spelling words for this week are on worksheet 11.1, which we just looked at. Again, please note, word number 10 is a tricky word, so we have marked it in a special way. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. So here is your list, remember? Okay, so what I want you to do tonight is you are going to write your spelling words in your phonics journal. Okay, so you are going to get your phonics journal. Here's your phonics journal. And we are on page 10. So you are going to put a number 10 at the bottom of your page. Okay, page 10. And you are going to write on the top today's date, which is 9-15. Okay, and you're going to write spelling list 1. Spelling list 1. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a second. So you're gonna have spelling list 1, today's date, 9/15, and page 10 on the bottom. And then you are going to write your words, okay? The first word was bandit. So I'm gonna write 1, and I'm gonna write the word bandit. And then I'm gonna skip a line, and I'm gonna put a 2, and I'm gonna write the word shelf. And then I'm going to skip a line and write the word spring. And then I'm going to skip a line and I'm going to write the fourth word, which is, can't see it, hold on. It was much too small. Munch. The next word is munch. And then I'm going to skip a line. Okay, do you see what I'm doing so far? Okay, so I'm writing number 1 and the word, and then I'm skipping a line. Number 2 and the word, and then I'm skipping a line. And you're going to do that with all 10 of your words on page 10. Okay, if you need to pause the video to get this started so that you know what needs to go at the top of the page and what page to put it on, you may do so, and then push play when you're ready to go on. So I'm going to reshare the screen with you. Okay. So some of our tricky words that we're going to work on this year are, we're going to review some tricky words. Remember, tricky words are words that do not play by the rules. Our first one is the word the. This cookie is the best. The. He. I hope he studied for the test. He. She. She loves to swim. She. We sail out on the water. We. Be. I would like to be on the beach. Be. Me. My cat loves me. Me. All right, so now we're going to look at our consonant flipbook, and we're going to go over the sounds that we have talked about today. Remember, many consonant sounds can be written with either a single letter or with two of the same letter. So here's an example. The letter B. What sound does this letter stand for? It's the sound B, B, B. Okay? So the B makes the B sound. Good, it makes the B sound. But what happens if we have two B's together? This spelling is another way to write the B sound. So we can have one B or two B's. That makes the B sound. So we're going to be a word detective today. Let's look at this word. What is this word? Can you say this word out loud to me, please? It's the word bed. And the B sound in the word bed is written with one B. What is this word? Can you say this word out loud to me, please? This is the word ebb. And this B sound is written with two B's to make the B sound. So here are some letters in the alphabet, some of our consonants that we can use two of the same letter to make the same sound as one of those letters. And so we just talked about the B sound and how we can use two B's to make the B sound, like in the word rubbing, rubbing. And if we look at the power bar, look how tiny that bar is. That tells me that that is not a very common way to spell. Okay, sorry, I had to pause. I had to make sure I was sharing my screen with you. I'll go back. It's not very common to use the B sound in that spelling. We can do the D sound with two D's, like in the word add. And again, this power bar is very small, which means that it is not a common way to spell the D sound. We have the K sound, K, that we make with two C's together, like in the word hiccup, hiccup. And again, that power bar is so small, it is not a very common way to make the K sound. Another way to make the K sound is with a C and a K together, like in the word black, black. The C and the K together say K. And that power bar is also very small. That tells me that it is not a very common way to spell the K sound. Now we have the G sound, G, like an egg, egg. And we make that sound with two G's together. Look at that power bar. What does that tell you? It is not a very common way to make the G sound. We have the F sound. When we put two F's together, like in the word stuff, stuff. And look at that power bar. It's still pretty small. That is not a common way to make that spelling. And then we have the L sound, L, bell, bell. When we put two L's together, not a very common way to spell the L sound. So notice that double letter spellings are found at the end of words and in the middle of a word. It is rare for a double letter spelling to be at the beginning of a word. Let's go back and look. We have rubbing in the middle. Add, the double D's are at the end. Hiccup, the two C's are in the middle. Black, we have the CK at the end. Egg, the two G's are at the end. Stuff has two F's at the end. Bell has two L's at the end. So they always come at the end of the word or in the middle of the word. All right, so now we're going to look at our code chart. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. going to go back to go back. I'm going to show you your code chart. So I already marked them today earlier with my other class, but we'll go over it together, okay? So we did the double B's like in rubbing. We did the double D's like in add. We did the CK like in black. And we did the C like in hiccup, the double C. We did the double G's like in egg. We did the double F's like in stuff. And we did the double L's like in bell. And those were the things that we did today. So let's go back to our Google slide. Okay, so we're like just going right along with our code chart. All right, so today we're going to read a new story called The Hot Dog. And today we're going to start reading in our reader called The Cat Bandit. So Bandit, let's read the word out loud by sounding out each syllable, blending them together, and then reading the word out loud. So if I look at this word, I know that if I put my hand under my chin, I say the word bandit. My chin goes down twice. So that means that there are 2 syllables in this word. Let's all do this together. Put your hand under your chin and say bandit. Bandit. Okay? Now I know a lot of people teach you to clap, and that is one way to do it. But here's the problem. If you have a word that you don't know how to say, you can't figure out how many syllables are in that word by clapping, because you could just be clapping at the wrong time. Like you could say bandit, and that would not be right. You were clapping, but you didn't clap it according to the syllables. When you put your hand under your chin, you can tell it's a syllable because your chin goes down with each syllable, okay? So this is the word bandit, and there are 2 syllables in this word. Let's all say this word together. Bandit. Good. So a bandit, they are people who take things that do not belong to them. A synonym for bandit is robber, and a synonym is a word that is similar or the same. So a word that is similar to a bandit or means the same thing is a robber. So we're going to look at the table of contents in our story, in our book called The Cat Bandit. A table of contents tells the reader the names of each chapter and the page on which the chapter begins. So let's look at our oh, you know what? I got that one off. Let's go back. It's in this one. Okay, so here is our table of contents for The Cat Bandit. Do you see how we have the title of the chapter, and it tells us what page the chapter starts on? So The Hot Dog is our first chapter, and it starts on page 2. It starts on page 2. And the next chapter, The Chicken Nugget, starts on page 6. So I know that the hot dog is going to be on pages 2, 3, 4, and 5. 4 pages long because the next chapter starts on page 6. Okay. We are going to look at the title of the story first, and we kind of have already talked about the title of the story. What is the title of that story? Oops. The title of the story is The Hot Dog. What do you think the story is going to be about? What do you think? What's it going to be about? Well, I think there might be something to do with the hot dog in it. Just a lucky guess. But look at this picture. This cat is like, he looks like he's having a really good time. He looks like he's rappelling down a clothesline. I wonder what he's going to go get. Right, so we already talked about this on what page does the hot dog begin, and we said it starts on page 2 according to our table of contents. So stories are made up of sentences, and sentences end with some type of punctuation. And we have talked about this before. Punctuation is a period or a question mark or an exclamation point. Every sentence has to end with some type of punctuation. So in the hot dog, there are sentences that end with periods, and there are sentences that end with exclamation points. And an exclamation point tells the reader when to read with excitement. So let's practice. We're going to practice using exclamation points. The first sentence ends with a what? It ends with a period. And when you have a sentence that ends with a period, you just say it the way that you would normally speak. You don't use excitement. You don't ask a question. You just say it the way that you would normally speak. So this sentence should read, get up. So let's read that sentence together. Get up. But now we have an exclamation point. The exclamation point tells us that we need to read this sentence with excitement. So now the sentence sounds like, get up. Let's try that together. Get up. How did that sound different? Turn and tell your learning partner how these two sentences sounded different and why did it sound different. And when you're done, go ahead and hit play so we can continue on our lesson. Some of your new spelling words will be in our story today, the hot dog. So pay special attention and look for these words when we are reading. So let's go over some vocabulary. We have a den, and a den is a room in a house, usually where people go to either get some work done or they sit and watch TV together, and it's usually just like a little small room, not like a living room, but a smaller room that's specific for one type of activity. Then we have the word drift, and drift means to slowly and gently float away. Okay, so if this boat were in the water and they did not have any oars and there was no motor, the waves, the current of the water would still make the boat move and they would drift down the river. So what do you think the story will be about based on the title? We said the title was The Hot Dog. Tell your learning partner what you think the story is going to be about. Push pause, talk to your partner, and then push play again when you're ready to go on. Okay, so we are going to read the story carefully to see if your prediction is correct. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the story. Okay, so here we go. The hot dog. Mom had a hot dog. She left the hot dog on a shelf in the den. The hot dog sent up a smell. The smell drifted and drifted. The cat bandit sat on the deck, wishing he had a snack. Then the hot dog smell hit him. Such a smell! Sniff, sniff, sniff. Oh, look at that cat. He's like licking his lips. He looks like he's so enticed by that smell of the hot dog. And you can see the aroma of the hot dog drifting through the wind. That cat looks super excited. The cat bandit ran in the den. He spotted the hot dog up on the shelf, up on a bench. Then he sprang up on the TV set. Then, with a big jump, he sprang up and landed on the shelf. Then, munch, 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 the cat bandit had himself a picnic lunch. So, based on that story, let's go back. We're going to answer some questions. So, there are two characters in this story. Who were they? Do you guys remember who they were? Turn and tell your learning partner who you think the two characters were in this story. Well, the main character is obviously the cat bandit. Who was the second character? That's right, it was Mom. Mom's the one that had the hot dog. Where did Mom leave her hot dog? Turn and tell your learning partner where you think she left the dog. She left it on the shelf in the den. Nice job. How did the cat bandit know there was a hot dog in the den? What gave him the clue? That's right. He could smell the hot dog because it was in the den and it was putting off the smell. Good. How did the cat bandit get to the hot dog? He jumped on the shelf to get to the hot dog. And what happened after the cat bandit landed on the shelf? That's right. He ate the hot dog because the story said he had himself a picnic snack. Nice job. All right, so we have already gone over worksheets 11.1. That is your spelling list. And worksheet 11.2, that is the letter to your parents or your adult. So our learning targets today were that I can practice my new spelling words. And we did that. And you're going to do that again tonight. We had a learning target that I can read tricky words and double letter spellings. And we have worked on that. We practiced some tricky words and we went over words with double letter spellings. And our last one was, I can partner read the story, The Hot Dog. And you are going to practice that tonight. Part of your homework is you are going to read the story, The Hot Dog, with a learning partner, okay? You can choral read it at the same time. You can echo read it, where maybe your grown-up reads a sentence and then you repeat the sentence. Or you can read it alone to someone, okay? Either of those are acceptable, but you need to read it tonight for part of your work. All right, so last thing I want to show you, I want you to make sure that you have all of your stuff for tonight. So you have your spelling list, okay? This one is the actual list, just the list, and the letter for your parents, okay? This is a Google slide for you to practice the words. So you can have them pull up and practice saying the words, practice spelling the words, practice writing the words. That is there for you to work with. And then the last thing is your fluency passage, because starting today, you have a fluency passage for phonics and for wit and wisdom. So this is your fluency passage for phonics. Did you know big cats, little cats, lions, or kittens, they are a lot alike. Cats are expert hunters. They are able to leap, run, crouch, or stay perfectly still. Cats will stalk and then spring on their prey. Sharp claws and sharp teeth help them too. Cats also see very well at night, and they have keen hearing, which helps them when they hunt. Cats make wonderful pets too. You will see them use some of their hunting skills when they play with you. So what you're going to do is you're going to open this with Cammie so the parents can initial and sign down here on the days that you're doing it. So you're going to read this 3 to 5 times each night, okay? So you're going to start tonight, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then you're going to turn it into me on Monday, okay? So you're going to read it 3 to 5 times Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, and turn it in on Monday, okay? Don't forget you have fluency for wit and wisdom also. Okay, so that is your work for tonight. Don't forget to write your spelling words in your phonics journal on page 10. All right, and that's all we have for today. I had a great time with you guys this morning, this afternoon, whichever one you're watching it at. So I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.